Let us look at proposition number 21 of book 7 of Euclid's Elements. The proposition says numbers relatively prime are the least of those which have the same ratio. So what does this mean? Let's say we have a ratio 24 is to 16. They are not relatively prime. So let's simplify them. So if we simplify them, we get 12 is to 8. The ratios are same in both the cases, but still 12 and 8 are not relatively prime. So let's simplify it once more. So again, 6 and 4 are not relatively prime, but the ratio is the same. Okay, let's simplify it one more time. We get 3 is to 2, which is relatively prime. 3 and 2 are relatively prime and they are the same ratio. So that is what this proposition is talking about. Numbers which are relatively prime are the least of those which have the same ratio. Okay, let's see how we can prove this. Now we know A and B are relatively prime. Remember, we have to prove that these two are the least numbers. So let's use proof by contradiction. Assuming C is less than A and D is less than B, forming the same ratio, that is A is to B equal to C is to B. If we assume that, it means C measures A the same number of times that D measures B based on this proportion. Now let E is equal to the number of times C can be added to itself to get A. So let me mark E. Because of this proportion, this means that E is equal to the number of times D is added to itself to get D. And in both the cases, it would be the same. Okay, what these two statements means is that A is equal to E times C, where E is not equal to 1. Similarly, B is equal to E times D, where again E is not equal to 1. Okay, since multiplication is commutative, we can write it as A is equal to C times E. And we can write B is equal to D times E. So, which means E measures both A and B. And at the same time, E is not equal to 1. So, E measures both A and B. But that is not possible, isn't it? Why? Because A and B are relatively prime, right? That means A and B are the least numbers which form a ratio, provided they are relatively prime. As we have seen in the example, if they are not relatively prime, they can't be the least numbers forming the ratio. So that is proposition number 21 of book 7 of Euclid's Elements. Again, let me remind you, there is a link to a PDF book which describes all these propositions in detail. Please feel free to download it, refer to it. And if you feel somebody else can also benefit from it, please do share it. That's it for now.